Alright, I'm Matt and I'm back once more with Derail Valley, because there was just one video I actually wanted to make. The very reason why I started recording those videos, and that is something I just bought a license for. I got the license for the SH282, the steam engine. I'm back at the harbor. Took a couple things from the city back to the harbor when we where the last video left off. That's what I meant to say. And just I only did that with one shunter. First off, I actually did all the shunting at the city. Then grabbed, refueled both locomotives, paid all the fees, and then with one shunter took everything to the harbor that went there. And when I came back in, I saw this in the roundhouse. L45, a steam engine. Now I could have bought the license right then and there, but I decided to use that shunter, L57, for a last time, pretty much do all the shunting at the harbor, and I pretty much ran it empty, or well, almost empty. We were down, the shunter holds 2000 liters of diesel. I had to fill up 1800, just under 1900 when I was done with the shunting. So now I've got the license. Let me just put that in the correct place. So we can fire up this steamer. We can actually enter it. You can't without the license. Open the injector, get some water into the boiler out of the tender. And the shovel is key 6. This is the expert shovel. There are 3 shovels in the game. The standard shovel used to be what the expert shovel is now. The standard shovel, with the standard shovel you used to be able to fill the firebox by shoveling coal in there 5 times. There is a golden shovel that, I don't know, reduced that to 2 shovelfuls or 3. I think it was 3. But that was changed with the latest update, because in VR it was very hard to get the coal to go from the shovel into the firebox. You tended to spill everything around. That was kind of fixed, and it was changed so that the standard shovel only takes 2 shovelfuls to fill the firebox, and the golden shovel only takes 1, which is a problem, as we are going to see in a while. Let's just fire her up. The lighter comes back into the inventory after throwing it in. And so the expert shovel was added, which is supposed to do what the old standard shovel did. Now we need to raise the temperature and get some pressure on the boiler. So while we're at that, we can go to where I've prepared my trip, mostly. First off, we do not need this receipt anymore. L57 will stay here at the harbor until it despawns in 2 hours. We are going to do another trip to the city. I could go to the sawmill. I also bought the logistics hall license at the city last time. Reason being, I had a pretty lucrative consist to go back, and that was all the empties from the diesel run. So we could go to the sawmill, we could take a lot of scrap metal to the steel mill. Problem is that's a total of what did I say, 12,300 or so, 12,300 bucks, and it would be 600 tons? No, 800 tons. Not really worth it. What we're doing is going back to the city with diesel, gasoline and diesel, and a couple of empties for a total of 488 tons and 28k. $28,000. So this is the start of that train. All of those what's the name of that? Of those tanker cars, and then the flatbeds back there. Result of the shunting. I just need to double check. That was 87. It would be embarrassing if I'd set this thing up wrong. 87. Yes, that's the correct one. Good. So the steamer should be up to temperature right now. We also need to... Which one do we need? Yeah. She's steaming. Up. Also the steamer is rated for 1,000 tons with shunters. We would need at least 2 to get those 488 tons out of the harbor, but a steamer should be able to do this alone. So now the cutoff is apparently not exactly realistic, so we are going to use quite a bit more water than we need to, but oh yeah, that's the speed. But we should be fine. Also visibility isn't too great, but okay, that should... Did we just derail? No, we're good, we're good. That was more of a bump than I expected, but it's fine, it's fine. Ah, I hate this. Okay, that should... Nope, that was too far. A little embarrassing. Okay. I could also use those handles to push the turntable, but we don't really need that. So release the brakes. Get her chuffing along. We're currently at pretty low fire. I think I can shovel on a little more coal. We're also at pretty high pressure, so the lack of fire shouldn't be a problem. Okay, that's far enough. Throw the cutoff all the way back, or roll the cutoff all the way back. But we are going to need a hot fire. Okay, that's fast enough. We're gonna need quite a bit of fire when pulling those 488 tons out of the harbor. That reminds me. Also, the freight haul license does not increase the copay. Yeah, put that away. And it does increase the available time for the time bonus. Not very far, but yeah, we fired up too early. Pressure is going too high, so the overpressure valve will kick in. Not yet though. Interesting. Will kick in and relieve some of that pressure. Yeah, that's the overpressure valve. Okay. Time to slow down a bit. Time to slow down a bit more. And that little bell means the fire is cooling down quite a bit. Actually, we can still speed her up a little bit. Okay. You want to be careful with that. With that hazmat cargo. Alright. Alright. So, problem is, of course, while you can refuel diesel locomotives at the city, the same is not true for the steamer. But we should be good. It's not far, we're not going to use too much coal and water, I don't think. Well, you can always refuel the tender at the career manager here at the fees, because with the diesel, with the steam loco, you have the locomotive 045 that only gets fees for the emissions. Well, some locomotive damage, the wheels, of course. But the tender, that's the one where the resources are. Coal and water. And those are kind of expensive. But, well, it's not too bad. So, what did I say? 51 minutes. Got that. Time's running. Don't much care about the empties, although we have to get a little creative dumping those. But the gasoline and diesel, that's the important thing. Because the problem with the empties is that they do not necessarily go into empty tracks. Okay. Nope. And here we go, using quite a bit of our pressure. I'm rolling back the reverser, or the cutoff rather. To reduce the amount of steam we're using. Okay. Fire up the draft. That's another problem with the steamer, the draft lever. Was that just a derailment? That sounded like a derailment. Shit. Yep. You. Okay. Well, that's a promising start, isn't it? Close up that one. So that's why you do not want to... Also, it's interesting. Oh, there we go. So you cannot re-rail moving wagons. That's a problem. So you cannot tell if one of your... if anything is derailed while you're moving. Okay. So, release that. Go forward a bit so we have enough room to re-rail. Put the brakes again. Get some water in. Okay. That's gonna cost me. No. Can I not? How do I have to do it? Oh, like this. There we go. 500. Okay, that's fine. The damage to the car is worse. But it's not losing its cargo yet, so things are fine. So I should in fact have gone 30 rather than 40 over that switch. Okay, which one was it? Was it you? No, it wasn't you. It was you. Yep, there we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. Oh, come on. There we go. Those two are open. Alright. Let's get moving again. Nope. Brakes off. Of course, I had intended to build up some speed before leaving the harbor. Or in fact, before hitting that corner and then being able to what is that? This is the place. And then being able to coast a little. I'm gonna open the draft lever. Problem is, while the draft lever increases the firebox temperature, that also makes the coal burn faster. And in VR the draft lever doesn't work. Moving. Did I close that? Yes, good. So up this hill, we want to keep the firebox stoked. Got wheel slip. That's also a thing. You don't have an indicator for wheel slip in the steamer. You have to listen to what your locomotive does. It's actually fast enough here. the other hand, steam pressure is pretty much holding, and so is the speed. Water, not so much. Well, steam pressure is not exactly holding, so let's use the draft lever to get some more, to get the fire burning hotter. Okay, we're going a little fast. I gotta keep in mind that this isn't actually 45 but 50. Yeah, no need for the draft. We've got plenty of pressure. Let's sit down. Got no lights in here either. But unlike that little switch for the horn in the shunter, we have this one. Just a bit of fun. Okay. 40 is good. Water is also good. Where are we even? Oh man, we're already here. Yeah, I think we're good on fire because pressure's already a little high. So let's keep it at this. Use up some of the pressure of that steam. And then we can we probably don't need to add any more coal. Oh, we're at 50. Got a limit of 70, that's fine, but that's just where the front of the train is, not the rear. At this point there is no damage to the locomotive if you let the water run out in the boiler or if you overfill the boiler, but I like to run it as if there was. Oh man. Coming up on Deadman's Curve here. And that's where the export shovel comes in handy. We can now just stoke the boiler a little bit from here on out. Just keep enough coal in there to not let the fire go out. Because we don't really need don't need much by ways of steam pressure anymore. Yeah, one or two shovelfuls. I mean, we could add a little more, because at this point we can just... Well, let's wait for the rest of the train to leave the tunnel. Up. Ah, there we go. That's where I wanted to go. It doesn't really look like much. But yeah, we just have the throttle lever open a little bit, and we're accelerating. Actually, a little much, if you ask me. Yeah, speed limit 70, we are just under 70. Getting close to overfilling. Of course, in real life you'd have two people crewing the steam engine, the fireman and the driver, conductor, not sure. Stoker is the actual word, not fireman. Well, I think fireman is also correct. Yeah, just about exactly 70. And at this point, don't really need any more coal. Okay, the fire is cold enough. Question is, I might wanna check where I need to throw these. This goes into A3, good to know. And this Charlie 2, okay. I kind of feel like I should probably add a tick of train brake. Just for a second there. How are we doing time-wise? Very well. Very well. Only took us a quarter of an hour to get here. From here on out, it's all downhill. Probably even let the fire go out entirely, but we'll see. We'll see. It's never a good idea, I don't think. Good. Going over that switch slowed us down some, but I don't think we have another derailment. Yeah, no, we're accelerating again. Also, while the steam engine can pull 1,000 tons itself, it clocks in at not 1,000 tons. Yes, 1,000 tons. it itself clocks in at 100. Unless I'm misremembering here. Okay, slow that up. Also, what I like to do for improved visibility is right up here. We're at 60, that's good. Switch. Okay, that's set to the correct. It's set correctly, but we do need to slow down quite a bit. Let's hit the the local brake as well, the independent. We're good. Coming up on 50. Can probably release the train brake. Not entirely. Okay, there we go. Yep. Shovel of coal to keep the boiler warm. That works. Can in fact start accelerating again. I think I want to be in the farm before I accelerate again. The derailment earlier kind of spooked me. Okay, yeah, that was wheel slip. And I mean, this thing just runs. Through the oil though, and hot minute there. Could probably add a shovel or two, especially when using the steamer for shunting, which isn't its main use. Being able to control the firebox temperature that easily is very important. Okay, oop, that was a little much. Was it 50 or 30 on that little Y there? I think it was 30. Spot where the steamer really shines is this straight here. You can push her to 100 kilometers per hour on that one. Okay, we need to slow down there. It says 60 here, but I think that Y was 30. I never remember, but I've crossed it off enough that I should. Can give her a little more. I think the other one was 50. Yeah, this one's 30 and the next one's 50. That's the way this went. Okay, we're going 30. That's good enough. What I'm kind of missing is a place to drop your drop booklets here. This one would be the headlights, I think, or both of them, I think, are supposed to work for the headlights, but they aren't implemented yet. You can kind of control them, but there's a bit of wobble going on with the bogies there, with the wheels of my tankers, but yeah, you can control those too, but they don't do anything. Almost everything else in here has its place. This one turns off the fire, but only if it's low enough. You can't really use that and expect the fire to go out when the firebox is full. This state should work. Nope, 6. Oh, come on. Another shovel? Yeah, sure, why not? And yeah, the little bit of shoveling we did on the way here is the way you handle it when you don't need much steam, because you're not accelerating much. No need to waste coal and water. If we had to fill the firebox halfway each time, that wouldn't be very useful, in my opinion. I'm only shoveling in, or I've only added a little more just now, because I want to reverse this train into the city. That means heading up towards the machine factory here. Go around this way, and up here. Well, not so far, possibly until up here. Just to clear that switch there and then roll her in backwards. And it was too much, oh well. Not a lot though. We're going to need a little bit of steam just now because it's going uphill. Not that much though. Okay, we're past the switch. Hit the train brakes. Roll the cutoff back all the way. Then we go in here, set the switches to hit alpha 3. Okay, wait. should in fact have released the loco brake as well, because then I could... it might start rolling backwards already. Because, you know, 600 tons on an incline. Now let's keep it at that. I've got plenty of time. That's going the way it's supposed to. Might want to lean out the other side, in fact. No, that doesn't help yet. This is where a second person would also come in handy. Tell me where the hell the rear of my train is. Oh, this looks far enough. Let's slow her down. Because there is something in Alpha 3. Object in motion stays in motion. Oh, that's a gondola car, I think. And it's just too far out. Or is it? Or is it just far enough in? Oh, we're pushing it. Because Sir Isaac Newton is the meanest son of a bitch in space. Okay. Or in the valley, whichever floats your boat. Okay, close that, open that. There we go. Go in. Brakes are off. Cut off all the way forward. Where did you need to go, Charlie 2? So Charlie 2 is that one, that's correct. This isn't. And since those flatbeds were what I brought from the city last time, I don't think they will generate a job when we turn this one in. Yeah, I wanted to double check the mass of the locomotive. Yeah, 100 tons. There we go. Alright. Have the fuel drop being the only one we were carrying, we could have taken it in forwards because Charlie 2 is empty, but and it has a way to get back out. The way we did it with the shunters last time. Okay, that works. But that's not the case here, so let's just roll her in this way. Can we get past the sign? Like a glove. Okay, might as well turn off the fire. Or not. Is that the wrong way? Maybe it's still too high. Probably still too high. Well, it can burn a little more to get the pressure back up. Alright. Boop. Close that and that. Flammable. So I hope none of you suckers are derailed. Looks good. Nobody else got derailed. Unless we dragged it all the way here in a derailed state, and that would get expensive. I mean, it's gonna be expensive enough the way we got it now. No, not this one. This one was undamaged. Wait, what's that? Huh. That's still in here. That's interesting. 8K, and this should come up to 30? 34. That's nice. However, we took 350 damage. That's not too bad. I was expecting worse. Oh yeah, scrap metal. Unloading. Okay, and of course unloading this, which is 5K, would come into another 7.5. Oh, I don't think I'm going to do this. Well, I'll see. Because I'd have to get this one. That's the loading job. But those are not part of a new job after this, so they would despawn if I move far enough away while still staying in the station, which is a thing that pretty much only happens in the harbor. But I think, should I exit the game here? Ah, there we go. Fire out. In the shunter that's not really useful because turning it back on will do some engine damage, but in the steam loco it only makes the boiler temperature go down a little bit. So we've got plenty of coal left. We could make it back to the harbor. We got that looks like over half of the water, so that should also do. Or at least we can make it back to the steel mill. Because I don't think we have anything for the harbor right now. Possibly those empties when we get... when we're done with that shunting job, but other than that... Food factory is up there. What does it say? 48 minutes. I know that's actually a quick run. Oop, that's the wrong one. Yeah, you only can get coal service where you have that black spot here. Gray is the repair station, like at the city, but we only have diesel service here. Coal service is at the mines, the iron mines, the coal mine, the steel mill, and the harbor. Most other stations, the factories and the city and the oil wells, plus again steel mill and harbor have diesel service, and the goods factory, farm and forests and sawmill have neither. So food factory is maybe not a good idea with the steamer. I would have to refill it via this. Oh right, let's pay this one off. Beep. 6.3. Yeah, 500 kilograms of coal. Or 500 tons? No. And 17,000 liters of water. That's about half the water I have. Yeah, I should be able to get back to the harbor. I'm wondering if it says on the side how much coal and water it can hold. No, it doesn't. Also, the tender is 50 tons as well. So, yeah. And with that, until next time. That's gonna be the last video for a while of this. At least the last video I record. So yeah, until next time, thank you and good night.